Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, blogtalk Radio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, and this is Wrestling Heads Radio, you guys skits, and I am live here with my co-host Tom at the moment, and Oscar will be here a little later. I think he's finishing up Raw, but what's going on, man?
Not much. You know, just trying to go through this Monday night without throwing my remote at the TV because of the damn New York Giants, but other than that, everything's going good. Lots of good stuff in the wrestling world. I know you and Oscar went to Stardom over the weekend. I heard Evolve put on two great shows over the weekend, which I'm probably going to be downloading this week.
Same. I'll probably be watching it probably tonight somehow, and hopefully we could talk more about Evolve on like Thursday, because I know like hopefully we can like watch it. We can really get more into depth on the show. Then we can probably talk about the Sami Zayn video, if anything, a little later here on the show.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a good weekend as far as wrestling goes. Like I said, a lot of good stuff. AIW, also got to give a big shout out to them. Freaking Terry Funk going crazy on Friday night, tearing shit up. He's still doing it at like, what is it, 73? The guy is nuts.
Man. Shit, the man's been in wars with guys like Ric Flair, who we saw tonight on Raw, and shit.
So yeah, like I said, lots of good stuff. So, like I said, shout out to all the smaller promotions doing it big this weekend. But time to talk the big stuff that happened tonight on
Raw. Before we say smaller promotions, I don't want to say smaller promotions, because the promotions that folks don't know about are doing a better job than the guys that we see weekly on Monday nights, or either sometimes on Wednesdays, that show that says they have an impact, but they really don't. But that's another time for another story. That's another day for another story. Let's go ahead and talk about tonight here on Monday Night Raw. Basically, we're going to talk about the Raw results or whatnot, what happened. Plus, we'll get into our predictions a little later on for Hell in a Cell. But let's start it off. Tonight, surprisingly, Raw opens up with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And all I have to say to that is...
best for business.
What? Steve Austin comes down. I don't know why they kind of had him come down. It's kind of like it was like whatever. I mean, I know he's from Texas or whatnot, and they're in Texas. They kind of had him just come down to, call out Taker. Like, how come Taker couldn't come out his own? And they could have had Taker open up. It seemed like Austin just came down for no reason, in my opinion.
Yeah, it probably was just to generate a buzz, have things trending on social media, get people to flip over to Raw, be like, oh, look, Stone Cold's opening up Raw, holy shit. But yeah, like you said, he didn't really do much. He, of course, promoted Hell in a Cell promoted the podcast that's actually going on right now with Brock Lesnar. And yeah, that was. I was thinking with a lot of these legends.
Did he even mention the WWE 2K video game?
I don't think he mentioned 2K.
That's a surprise, right? Because I would think that WWE would send him out there to promote their video games in 2 weeks.
Next week, actually. I think it comes out next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm on that shit. I'm actually going to pre-order my shit probably Wednesday, if anything. But
yeah. So, and that's the thing with a lot of these legends nowadays is that WWE, guys like Stone Cold, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, the guys that we saw tonight, they bring them back just to promote stuff. Not to get involved in storylines, which I guess is good. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you're having them go out there and show the WWE Network and show all these things, and that's well and good. So, I mean, it's whatever. It was cool to see Stone Cold back on Raw in, 4 years, I think they said?
Yeah, so basically Taker came out, and I was like, is Taker going to talk or is Austin going to talk? And basically Taker just started talking about, how it's basically just mouthing off about, Lesnar or whatnot. And, of course, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Him and Paul Heyman come down, and they basically mention how Taker had to cheat to, get the win on the last show. So, which is SummerSlam, which is the last match they had. And Taker was like, no, we can do this right now. And he took off his jacket, took off his hat. Lesnar was definitely going to go down, and they were going to basically go at it. But it didn't happen because I guess Heyman basically talked him to jumping off the ropes and just wait till Sunday because he's getting into your head. And Lesnar basically ended up jumping down. You know how Lesnar has his big smile or whatnot. Because we would have saw another brawl, and that would have been crazy, on the go-home show to the Cell. But didn't happen. So, your thoughts on the opener with Lesnar and Taker?
I mean, it was what I expected. I didn't really expect another brawl. I figure, okay, they're doing a Hell in a Cell match. You gotta really, hype it up without them, beating each other up like they did for SummerSlam. It's kind of a different approach. It's like we got to keep these two guys separated until Hell in a Cell because they're going to be locked inside of there. It's not your typical type of match. So I knew what was coming. It was fine. Nothing really wrong with it. It was, it's always cool to see, people.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited for Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna be there Sunday, and I'm working this shit, and I'm super excited to be working. Like, when do you go to work excited to work? You know what I mean? Like, I'm super excited for this, so looking forward to it. And I think it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, it should be interesting to definitely see. Obviously their SummerSlam match was 1,000 times better than the WrestleMania match because, Taker wasn't concussed a third of the way through the match. So, my only thing is, obviously we've seen Brock a couple times at SummerSlam and at WrestleMania get busted open. So do we see Brock or Taker get busted open in this one? Is there going to be blood? How violent is it going to be? Because the last time these guys stepped in Hell in a Cell with one another, it was, 2003, at the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression era, which obviously you get away with a lot more, violence and blood and stuff like that. I mean, Ruthless Aggression era, we were seeing people get busted open every other week. So it's just going to be
I think we'll see somebody get busted open between these two, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they really, I think, have to step it up in this one and make it a violent type of match because, like I said, ever since, WWE moved to kind of the PG rating, we've still seen Hell in a Cell matches, but they've kind of been toned down a little bit. especially over the last, I'd say, 5 years or so. You know, a lot of the Hell in a Cell matches, they don't seem what they once were. You know, when a Hell in a Cell match used to come on, you'd think, man, this is going to be violent. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be, you know, a full-on war. But what we've seen over the past couple of years is like, oh, another Hell in a Cell match. Like, nothing's going to come of it. I mean, look at last year between...
That was pretty good. It could have been better.
Yeah, I think it could have been a lot better, especially with guys like Ambrose and Rollins. First of all, the finish was dumb as hell with the stupid television monitor going on. Like, that was stupid, and Bray Wyatt and all that sort of junk. But, yeah, I think they really do need to turn it up a notch here and make it a pretty violent matchup.
Yeah, because the Cell is definitely not the same. Like, you might as well just eliminate Hell in a Cell if you don't really want them to go to hell. So, but we'll see what happens Sunday. Hopefully, these two can definitely do great at the Hell in a Cell Sunday. Let's move on. Raw basically opened up. John Cena teaming up with the Dudley Boys as they went against the New Day. New Day is out here doing big shit. They have a brand new T-shirt, by the way, on WWEshop.com. Go purchase to show the New Day some love. New Day's out here. They out here getting big matches. Of course, you know they have the feud with the Dudleys, but when you're in a match with John Cena, at least you like been not just in matches with John Cena, but you probably been beating the shit out of John Cena in probably 2 weeks straight. The company likes you, you know, because Cena just doesn't get beat up by anybody. Of course, you know, the New Day's tag team matches, their 6-man tags are always fun. We know what the Dudley Boys can do as a tag team. John Cena, I feel like John Cena didn't really do too much offensive moves tonight. Is it me tripping, or he really didn't do nothing?
He was definitely not as involved in the matchup as he normally would be. Like I said, I think with all the stuff going around that he's going to be taking time off. He probably, like I said, he probably didn't want to, you know, do too much, you know, get too hurt or whatever. You know, he wants to feel pretty good going into his, I guess, vacation or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I definitely noticed that as well. And, you know, it was announced for Sunday that he's going to be doing an open challenge, which we could talk about in a little bit once we do our Hell in a Cell predictions. But I thought the 6-man tag was okay. You know, nothing out of the ordinary, kind of like a typical 6-man tag. You know, New Day, I say it week in and week out, they're the best thing going in WWE right now. They're so entertaining in the ring, in their promos, and it's good to see.
Big E is so entertaining now, bro. Like the New Day saved all three of these guys' careers, hands down. Especially going heel. Those guys going heel, best thing ever. Because you seen the Dinner for Three, right?
The only
There's a table for three. There's a table for three.
The only one that I did see was Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Dean Ambrose.
Table for Three is what it's called. You need to watch the New Day one, and like they really just keep it 100. Like they didn't give a shit about their gimmick whatsoever when they were face. Like everybody hated them. I mean, basically, people who were with them, certain cities, once they hit, like you know, the like rough crowds, New Day sucks chant started. Basically, we want to thank the fans for New Day's success, period. Because I kind of think if certain fans didn't boo them, New Day would not be the New Day that we see right now. But
yeah, you know, I think the whole them, first of all, putting them as a face faction to begin with was a terrible idea. It was going to fail from the start. People saw it. You had to turn them heel. And especially
it should have been heel from the get-go. Before they had, like, the matching outfits, remember when Xavier Woods had, like, the suit on and like Big E and Kofi was wearing, like they're off, like that could have worked too. Either one, but I like this one better. Like I'm really with this one for sure.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree with that. You know, it's entertaining, and you know, it's funny because it's still a heel gimmick, but it's kind of like the opposite of what was going to be planned. You know, when we first saw, like you mentioned, Xavier in the suit, it was kind of more of a militant type group where he was serious, and you know, it was all this. But now they're coming out and you know they're acting all goofy and they're just acting, you know, like assholes. And you know, but they're so over, and they're entertaining, and that's what you need. You need guys to capture people's attention, and like I said, they're doing silly stuff, but at the same time they're being taken seriously because they're getting wins. When they get in the ring, they're doing their serious stuff, and they're mixing in, you know, some of the silly booty shaking that Big E does. It's great stuff. It's great stuff.
And it's funny because like they like the New Day sucks chance. Like they like try to make the fans say it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, I think they've done a great job with it, and hopefully the momentum for them continues. Hopefully they can keep it going, and WWE, you know, because it feels like, okay, once this New Day versus Dudley thing ends, you got to find something new for them, but you have to make it something where it's.
I have a question. Is it safe to put Xavier Woods as Manager of the Year in the Body Slam Awards this year? Is it safe to put him in there?
I wouldn't put him in there just for the simple fact that a manager doesn't really wrestle. You know, you look at a guy like Truth Martini, or
he's got to be at least mentioned. At least
you look so
honorable mention at least.
Involved, and like I said, Truth Martini, those are managers. They don't really get in the ring. They're out there managing. Xavier,
you got to give him an honorable mention at least.
Yeah, I think so. But like I said, he's in the ring so much that you can't really count him as a manager. You know, it's a 3-man group, and you know, most of the time he's on the outside because it's just, you know, Big E and Kofi working. But we saw Xavier get in the ring, you know, tonight. So
it's always fun watching him wrestle too. Hey, real quick, Tom, hold that thought. We have a caller. See what it says. Caller, you're on Wrestling Has Radio. Who's calling?
Hello, my name is John. How you doing?
What's going on, John?
Going well. It's going well. So, what you guys think of Monday Night Raw?
I thought it was decent. It was a decent Raw.
Pretty decent show, to say the least. I mean, you kicked off with Austin and Undertaker and Brock, and then the main event you had the Wyatt family versus the Shield, with Mr. Rollins walking out. But I'd still say a great show. I mean, I also enjoyed HBK and Rollins' segment, and two of the 6-man tag team matches. I liked Sheamus, Cesaro, and
that match was like whatever to me. It could have been better. Just didn't catch my eye, at least. I don't know about Tom.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed. I enjoyed Roman Reigns, Ric Flair segment, but then all of a sudden you had the Wyatts come out, and with Eric Rowan, which we knew was under the mask this whole time, because Eric Rowan came back, and I was like, well, who is that third guy? He looks familiar to me. And that's when I found out it was Eric Rowan.
Yeah, John. It's definitely good to have Eric Rowan back, part of the Wyatt family. You know, once they get together with Luke Harper, and there's no stopping the Wyatt family for sure.
Yeah, and the thing about that is, whenever all 4 of those guys get together, I think it's going to be bad doomsday. But I think all in all, Raw did a pretty decent show tonight. Little few matches were okay. Some I didn't agree, some I disagreed with. But, you know, at the same time, it was a pretty decent show. Not as bad as it was, but hey, they gave it a shot, and they gave it Austin. They said, okay, let's open it up with Austin, Undertaker, and Brock. Let's see what we're going to do there, and have the show close out with the Wyatts versus the Shield for one night. And, I hope this doesn't lead up to, like, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for Survivor Series.
I don't know. Interesting you just said that. Because ain't no telling what's going to happen next.
Well, you see, Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt's match should have been for, like, the number one contendership, who would, like, at least face Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight title. I mean, yeah, Reigns and Wyatt, they've always got there, but I think Reigns is going to win this one and probably head on to Survivor Series if they let Rollins have the title.
Yeah, we'll see what happens Sunday. Before we let you go, John,
I want to make my Hell in a Cell predictions before I go.
Sure.
All right. We got the pre-show match. I have Cesaro, Neville, and Ziggler taking the win. Although Sheamus, King Baron, and Rusev seem like a pretty decent team, so I'll say Neville, Cesaro, and Ziggler for that one. And the Dudley Boys versus the New Day, I think it'll be the Dudleys. And Ryback versus Kevin Owens. I don't see Ryback taking the belt back again. I think Owens is going to win this one with no surprise. I mean, because I think Owens could be the greatest, if not greatest, Intercontinental Champion of all time. Because
I like this guy. I like this guy, Tom.
But powerbomb, baby. I mean, look at Owens. I mean, he's got the Intercontinental Championship. He is holding the ranks. That belt is holding the ranks of Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, and Triple H. And now you have Kevin Owens as champion. I think Kevin Owens as Intercontinental Champion is great, and I think he'll be a great Intercontinental Champion. Also, I think John Cena's going to defend his U.S. title. Now, I know that they were supposed to debut Tyler Breeze tonight with Summer Rae. I think I'm going to see that down the corner.
I hope not with Summer Rae.
Anyway,
What? That's fine with Breeze, but he does not need no fucking Summer Rae. Summer Rae, he doesn't need it. He has a fucking phone. That's all he needs is the phone.
Yeah, Summer Rae. And Summer Rae's just a no-good, too slutty, I know I'm not supposed to keep this PG, but hey, it is what it is, right?
All right, go ahead.
Speaking of divas.
Next match.
Speaking of divas, I'm going with Charlotte and Nikki Bella. I say Charlotte retains here, and I see Charlotte and Paige go at it Survivor Series.
Okay.
Yeah,
next one?
I see the next one I'm choosing is Demon Kane versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, Little Birdie tells me that Kane's going to win this match, but at the same time, I see Rollins walking out with the gold, hopefully retiring Kane. But, something tells me Demon Kane's going to win the title, and then after, Sheamus is going to cash in and beat Kane for the belt. And then the next match I'll choose is
Bray Wyatt or Roman Reigns.
Okay, Reigns versus Wyatt. Yes, I say Reigns, and then the main event, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. And I think Brock's going to come away with the win. And I think after the match, you're going to see Undertaker and Brock shake hands, with Undertaker saying, "You were the better man." I think Brock and Undertaker is going to be a great match, but if anybody deserves to steal the show more, it's going to be Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt.
Definitely do. I've been telling people Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt might go ahead and have a good match. Before we let you go, John,
they should have been the main event.
Yeah, definitely. Before we let you go, John, you want to give away your Twitter, any social medias?
Yes, I want to give my plug for Facebook and Twitter, yes. And also, I have a talk show with my best friend, my main man from Pittsburgh, on the Talk Shoe Radio. He's my man. He's the Iceman, Jared D. Geronimo.
All right.
We have the Monday Night Raw post. Sorry, I haven't forgotten to do my plug yet.
All right,
we have the Monday Night Raw pre-show at 3 o'clock. 1-724-444-7444, 138-744. Call in and talk about the preview for Raw, and we give you some great fantasy matchups, including new.
All right. You got your Twitter or anything else before we let you go?
Yeah, I have everything, man. I'll talk to you next week.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Fucking hilarious.
Was I wrong, or did he say that Kevin Owens is going to become the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time?
He did say that. He might be right.
Listen, I'm one of the biggest Kevin Owens marks around. But listen, there's a long list of people that he has to live up to. Like I said, I love Kevin Owens, but when you're included with names like Randy Savage and Mr. Perfect and, you know, all those names.
I'm going to go heel. I'm going to go heel on you, Tom, and I'm disagree. Kevin Owens is going to be the greatest ever. I'm just kidding. But we have Oscar now online with us. Let's go ahead and finish up where we were talking about before we had our caller call up. Yeah, we're just talking about the New Day, so let's go ahead and move on to the next match. Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox versus Naomi and Sasha Banks. As we all know, last week on Raw, you know, when Naomi got beat by Nikki Bella, it was like we want Sasha chants going on. This week, I really didn't hear that we want Sasha type of chants going on, but Naomi and Sasha Banks get jobbed out. Naomi did take the fall. And it's basically making Nikki look good right now because, you know, she is the number one contender for the Divas title. But the real talk is right here. Sasha Banks, when does Naomi and Tamina Snuka turn their backs on Sasha Banks?
I don't know. You know, at this point, you know, I try to care about the Divas in the main roster, try to get invested, but I don't know. There's just not a lot of investment on there. And listen, I love Sasha Banks and I love Becky Lynch and Charlotte's good too, but just the way they're booked up there, it's just, I don't know. After the whole Divas Revolution thing, you know, I hate even saying that, but it's a tough time just trying to get invested in them. You know, I'm more invested in, you know, NXT and what they're doing down in NXT. I'm more invested in girls like Bayley and Asuka and even girls like Dana Brooke. You know, Dana Brooke is getting better, and I love seeing somebody that people were shitting on, including myself. I was shitting on Dana Brooke. I said she was horrible, but she's better.
I'm the only person that I think on the show that never shitted on Dana Brooke.
You definitely shit on her once, maybe once.
Maybe once.
Maybe once.
Maybe once.
I'll say this. You didn't shit on Dana Brooke as much as the rest of us.
That is true. Because, you know, Dana Brooke, I did take a picture with her WrestleMania weekend, and I've been loving her since. She's sexy. What can I say?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is that I like to see the progression of people that nobody thought was going to make it. And Dana Brooke is coming into her own. You know, she stood in there with Asuka and had a good debut match, even though she got the shit kicked out of her. But that was her job, was to get the shit kicked out of her. And it was funny because I was looking on Twitter over the weekend, and there were some NXT live events, and I guess Asuka went one-on-one with Eva Marie, and there were some shots of her kicking the shit out of Eva Marie. I was loving that. But like I said, I'm more invested in when women's wrestling is taken seriously, like what's going on in Ring of Honor with the Women of Honor. You know, with companies like
I know you want to not really answer that question that I asked you, but I got to get your thoughts on this.
Well, I mean, it's tough because, okay, you turn Sasha Banks face because if Naomi and Tamina turn on Sasha, that wouldn't make them faces. That makes Sasha the face. So then do you do a Survivor Series matchup with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and maybe Natalya going against, like, Paige, Naomi, Tamina, Nikki Bella? I don't know. You do something like that?
Or you can do what our caller said and just put not Sasha, but Paige and Charlotte for that title if you want to do that too. It's a lot of stuff you could do with the Divas division. But another thing you could do if you really want to keep Sasha a heel, you can have Tamina and Sasha turn on Naomi for being a weak link. Because another thing they can do. Who knows? Your thoughts, Oscar?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. Fucking 405 freeway in the rain. Oh, God. But anyways, yeah, I remember yesterday me and you were kind of talking about this skit while we're going to the Stardom show yesterday. I know we talked about the report that Sasha Banks turning face and all that, and I was thinking, is she really a face? Like, I mean, is she really her and Naomi, they're all pretty much baby faces. But then, the turning on thing looks like it's very possible. It can possibly see, one day Naomi snaps or Naomi and Snuka snaps and freaking turn on Sasha. It can happen. Probably next week on Raw we might see that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things can happen. We might see 2 Divas matches in the Survivor Series. Like that caller said earlier, we might see a Charlotte versus Paige. And this might lead to Becky, Sasha, I guess Natalya, and one more. Maybe it could be a 6-woman match. Who knows? But, they could go against Naomi and one of the team that look. I don't know. Fuck. But, yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. Yeah, I could see that probably happening. I remember we did, like I said, Skips, we did talk about it yesterday. And, yeah. I mean, I know what Tom was saying. It's kind of tough seeing how the women is, but maybe they're starting to move on with all this team shit. This whole Team Bella, PCB, and all that. All this shit's probably going to be passé now.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's
Since we're on the Divas circle, might as well get into it. Brie Bella basically went out there and got jobbed out, and Charlotte went over. Just to make her look strong for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, and Paige. How about Paige's little shoot in the back tonight?
It's kind of weird because it almost feels like they're having to replace AJ to say some crazy shit about the Divas division. Like I remember when AJ Lee was there, there was time saying how the Divas division looked and all the whole Total Divas thing. So it's kind of weird that now they're having Paige replacing that, and she's the perfect person to do it. So. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
She definitely is a perfect person.
It's not a pipe bomb, but they're just using her to have almost like an in-work shoot. You know what I'm saying?
One thing that I like how she mentioned how some shit that actually is really happening. Alundra Blaze mentioning how she likes the diva. She said one week the Divas are boring, and then the next week she puts over Nikki Bella. It was, that's kind of, I thought that was cool how she mentioned that's actually, been said, that I thought that wouldn't be said on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's always open-hearted. Like, going on in her career, Medusa, she's always open-hearted with women's wrestling. She was always against, using women wrestling as sex appeal. She was always against that. And she was always open-minded. Like, you saw the Hall of Fame. You were there, Skip. She might say some things out of bounds, but she always says on the heart. Like, she don't give a fuck what like if WWE fucking gets pissed off, not she's gonna open mind the women's state and not only WWE, maybe to all wrestling, you know.
Definitely. Let's move on real quick. Mark Henry was in action tonight. When I saw Mark Henry come down, I was like, oh, Kevin Owens is coming down to whip his ass real quick. So, Kevin Owens basically went out there and destroyed Mark Henry and popped up powerbomb him. I didn't know that Kevin was that strong, but hey.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I was wondering if he was going to do the pop-up powerbomb or if he was going to do something else like a roll-up, because Mark Henry is a bigger guy and Kevin Owens is the heel. So it was cool to see the pop-up powerbomb to Mark Henry. Just keep Kevin Owens' momentum going. Once again, like I said, I say it every week. Owens is doing great stuff week to week. And so, I mean, like I said, it was a whatever thing. It was just to continue the Ryback Kevin Owens thing going into Sunday.
One thing I didn't like, after the match, Ryback comes down and powerbombs Kevin Owens like he's come on, like who's the heel, who's the face here? Yeah, and that's the thing, is like imagine if you didn't know, imagine if you were a casual viewer and you were watching this. And when I say that, I mean anybody, you're not a little kid, you're an adult, so you can, take things logically and all that stuff. You would look at Ryback and you would ask one of your wrestling friends who watches wrestling more, you'd be like, wait, is that guy Ryback the bad guy? Because he's acting like the bad guy. That Kevin Owens guy, he just powerbombed that 400-pound guy, and then Ryback comes down and starts attacking him for no reason, And that's one of the things, is that a lot of the time with their feuds, WWE makes their faces look like bad guys, and then the heels ended up looking like good guys. And that's not how you can do things. You have to make the heels look like heels and the faces look like faces, but that dynamic hasn't been there for years, And that's, like I said, that's why people cheer guys like Kevin Owens over Ryback, because they can relate to Kevin Owens more, and obviously they know his work. But then they look at Ryback and they're just like, fuck you, why are you attacking him, So I'm glad you brought that up, because I actually forgot about that until you mentioned it.
I kind of disagree with both of you guys. I mean, look, here, even the casual fans should see this. Kevin Owens looks more heel than Ryback. Look, he called him out, and he tried to do the smart way, escape, but then you had Mark Henry coming out helping out Ryback just because he was trying to run away, being the bad guy here, but he got outsmarted, and then you have Ryback kind of finishing the job. And also, this just gives me more confidence that Kevin Owens is going to walk out Intercontinental Champion this Sunday at the Staples Center, which I'll be there live.
Definitely. I gotta see where Oscar stand. I definitely see both you guys' views.
But at the same time, you gotta make it different. Look, the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've seen the same shit. Ryback comes out, Kevin Owens runs away. Ryback comes out, Kevin Owens runs away. It's the same shit. Can we get some physicality from the two? Then you finally get it when the assist from Mark Henry. I know basketball season's coming. Then there you go. So
I get you.
That's what you get. Yeah. So now this is going to be the last time you'll see Ryback and Kevin Owens go at it, and we're going to see Kevin Owens walk out champion. I don't know about the caller seems to be the greatest Intercontinental champion, but it's up to Madison to make that happen.
Definitely. Let's move on. There was a backstage segment with Seth Rollins hanging out with Triple H and stuff. They were watching a promo with Ryback. I mean, excuse me, not Ryback, but with Roman Reigns. and the Wyatt family, which Ric Flair was a part of also. He basically just kind of announced Roman Reigns. And from there, basically, the Wyatt family showed up, and it was Bray Wyatt himself with two masks, and one was white. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Rowan is back. Eric Rowan is back. There's no Luke Harper. A lot of folks were wondering, where's Luke? And it was basically Roman Reigns. He was down there challenging the Wyatts for a match, and Dean Ambrose, of course, had his back, so they needed one more person. And later on in the back, like I said, Seth Rollins was with Steph and Triple H, and Shawn Michaels came out of nowhere and said, well, he's the man, you know, how about you have him do it? He was like, no, he has a match Sunday, blah, 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 blah. He was like, oh, I understand, you have to babysit him, he's like a kid, you know, you got to take care of him. You know, of course, it's going to offend Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins basically said, put me in. I don't care if they hate me or not. I'm going out there to show you why I'm the man. And, of course, everybody and their mama, the internet broke. And I'm pretty sure Oscar's seen the mentions go off like crazy, and he tried his best not to look. But the Wyatt versus the Shield, everybody was crazy. I was going hype. But then, once the match started, you know, Seth had his little moment in the ring or whatnot, but there was a hot tag moment that was about to happen, where they were about to tag Seth Rollins in, and he acted like he fucked his knee up and got like a, you know, like, what do you call those?
What do you call what again?
Hold on, I'm trying to think of the injury that he tried to act like he got, which is trying to think.
Talking about the knee injury during that match with Seth Rollins? Like, I don't get what you're talking about.
Charlie Horse. He tried to act like he got a Charlie Horse in the middle of the match and went in the back. And basically from there, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose just took over the match, and they couldn't really, you know, come up with the win. So they had Dean Ambrose basically went under the ring, got a kendo stick, and hit Braun Strowman. Thank you. Braun Strowman in the back. And there's another thing that I understand where Tom is coming from. A face doing a heel move.
Well, I don't know what I call that. It's another thing. Braun Strowman's a freaking monster. You know, during that match, you saw how he fucking ran over Dean Ambrose. Jesus fucking Christ. You know. But what else you could do against a freaking monster? Like, I remember Hulk Hogan used a chair shot at Andre the Giant. I mean, was that heelish from Hulk Hogan? No. We just know Andre the Giant was a big monster. You know, it was a goofy, clumsy dude, and one hit a chair would be on the ground, you know. But
I see your point. I definitely see your point. So basically, the Wyatt family went over due to disqualification, and of course, you know, at the end of the day, you got Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns standing tall.
You know what's funny about this whole Luke Harper thing? Like he's missing or something like that. Well, suppose he got to report it, but then there's other people saying it's not true. But supposedly he's getting punished because about that photo, the breaking kayfabe photo, and they're punishing Luke Harper for that. But according to sources, that's not true at all. So supposedly he's asking due to personal reasons. So I don't know what's going on within the Luke Harper thing.
Our Chris Jericho also took the photo down.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know what the hell. I don't know where it's going. Who knows? Like, if
you seen the picture, right?
Yeah, I saw the picture.
No, I'm talking to Tom. You seen the picture that he's talking about, right?
Yeah, I saw the picture. That picture was great.
Who made those shirts?
I don't know. I saw that. I'm pretty sure it was available on what was it, Redbubble? I think it was available on. It wasn't a WWE thing. Yeah, I think it was Redbubble. Someone made them. I don't know exactly who. I don't know the exact source. But I mean, that was just a great picture. Like, yeah, it's breaking down. It's breaking down kayfabe, but I mean, it was just a silly picture, especially to see like Bray Wyatt, which we rarely see him like out of character, but to see him doing the Shawn Michaels stance and like smiling, it's like this is a little weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. But I don't know. I don't know if that had anything to do with Harper not being on Raw tonight. That would be something.
If that's
stupid.
the case, everybody in that picture should be in trouble.
Yeah, and you should blame Chris Jericho the most. It's not like Luke Harper posted it on his Twitter. Does he even have Twitter, Luke Harper?
Yeah, doesn't use it really.
Yeah, so it's like you can't blame a guy because somebody else posted that picture. That's completely stupid. And like I said, Bray Wyatt was wrestling in that shirt in one of the matches in Mexico over the weekend. So it's like, I don't think that's the reason. I don't know why Luke Harper wasn't on, but who knows? I thought the main event, it was cool. Like I said, it was cool to see like the Shield reunion, kind of. Not really, because I mean, I knew Seth was gonna do the old
shit.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be Ambrose try to tag him in, and as soon as the spot came, I was like, he's going to jump off.
As soon as he did that, I'm like, yeah, Seth's jumping off.
Yeah, like you knew it was coming. So, but at least they gave you like a reason to watch the main event. Even though it was just a little tease.
So basically, you could say good writing.
Yeah, and because they set it up, like 40 minutes beforehand, just about, like 40, 50 minutes beforehand. And you start getting hyped up. You're like, well, now I got to keep watching Raw because, man, Shield reunion versus the Wyatts, this is going to be cool. It's going to be like watching a couple of years ago. So,
overall, let me ask you guys a question. You guys is from 1 through 5 on the Go to Home show. What do you guys give it? 5 being the highest.
1 to 5 is tough. It would be easier to do 1 to 10. You want to do that?
Okay, 1 to 10 is fine.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this like a 5.5. There were some good things. Actually, I'll give it a 6. There were some good things, some okay things. Nothing really bad. The Diva stuff was kind of skippable. But there was some good stuff in there. But it was just nothing really blow away. So it was kind of just like average. So I'd give it a 6.
Yeah, I would just say the same thing, a 6. I mean, I was happy to see Stone Cold come out in the beginning. Like, that surprised me because I did not know he was going to open up Raw. I just heard the glass break and his music, and I was like, holy shit, it's Steve Austin. Then he comes out and introduces The Undertaker. But seeing Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, that would be great to see. It was great to see all these legends. I like the whole segment between Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins. Loved it. I mean, there was a lot of talk going around that Seth Rollins is today's Shawn Michaels. I don't know if Skits will agree. I think Shawn Michaels is your favorite wrestler of all time, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, I don't know if you agree. I don't know if it's Seth Rollins is today's Shawn Michaels, but I think someone like you has the right to answer that question. But Yeah, I'll give it a 6. There's some, bad parts of it, like I don't like how the last few weeks they're treating Cesaro. I mean, I like the whole tag team Cesaro and Neville, but it seems like they're always getting out-powered by Sheamus and Wade Barrett every week. But now they announced the pre-show match. Now I'm getting confident that, they're going to walk out victorious this weekend at Hell in a Cell. The New Day thing was good. I mean, I have to give it a 6 as well, but if it was better, say if Tyler Breeze showed up tonight, I think it would have got better.
Nope, you say that for your pay-per-view. I'm gonna tell you why, which we'll talk about now. Let's talk about the predictions for Hell in the Cell. Let's start off with the kickoff show, which will have the team of Wade Barrett, Rusev, and Sheamus versus the team of Adrian Neville, Cesaro, and Dolph Ziggler. Who do you guys have taking this win? I'm going to go with the faces. Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville get the win. You got to start off your show with the faces going off with a win. You get the crowd pumped. I'm going with the faces.
Yeah, same here with me. I'm going with Cesaro, Neville, and Dolph Ziggler. I mean, I feel like going to victory, they might have something going after Hell in a Cell, like, if this rumor is true, I think Tyler Breeze coming to the main roster, and if they're going to plan having Tyler Breeze pair with Summer Rae, why not the first feud be Tyler Breeze against Dolph Ziggler? I think that'd be perfect if they're going to go that way. And as for Neville and Cesaro, you know what? Pair with the tag team. Fuck it. I think they'll make a good tag team. I like to see them go against the Dudleys. I like to see them go against primetime players.
You said
Fuck
who?
It,
Who is the tag team?
Cesaro and Neville. Fuck it. Pair them as a tag team. There goes your... And then whenever Tyson Kidd comes back, why not have him turn back on Cesaro? Fuck it. I think that would be best for those two guys to pair as a tag team.
Whenever Tyson Kidd comes back, that's if he ever can come back. Let's move on to the next match. Nikki Bella goes on one-on-one matchup for the WWE Divas title with going against Charlotte, the champ. I got Charlotte getting the victory.
Wait a minute, did you let Tom predict his?
My bad, I just noticed that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cesaro, Neville, and Dolph Ziggler. Got to put the faces over on the pre-show. But it should be interesting. Like I said, I think all these guys deserve better than to be relegated to the pre-show. But hey, at least they're on the pay-per-view.
Let's not forget, Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton was gonna be on the pre-show before.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, at least they're on the show. So hats off to them. But I guess I'll predict the Divas title thing now, since you mentioned it. I'm gonna go with Charlotte. Make no sense to put the belt back on Nikki. Have Charlotte keep going. Put Paige in a feud with her after this ends, and that's really it.
Oscar.
I'm gonna go with Charlotte as well. No sense to have Nikki Bella carry the title. I mean, there's other options you can have. If Charlotte does walk out, you can move on. Maybe go against Paige, where it looks like where's it going. So, I mean, if Nikki Bella wins, what's next? So, all right, I got that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be Charlotte walking out with the championship.
All right. So we got all of us basically on the same page. Next matchup, you got the Dudley Boys going against the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Day. I'm going with the New Day. Believe it or not, I think the New Day is gonna go over. I don't think the Dudley Boys are gonna be the tag team champs. It doesn't make sense to have the Dudley Boys as champs. I'm going New Day.
I probably will agree with you as well. I'm gonna go with New Day. I mean, I don't think it's time for the Dudley Boys to walk out WWE Tag Team Champions. If you asked me last week, I will say Dudley's, but I just got this feeling New Day's walking out. And also, I'm predicting this is gonna happen. When they come out, they're gonna be fucking mentioning the Dodgers losing in the playoffs, and they're gonna mention Kobe Bryant's leg is booty. I predict that when they're coming out in entrance. And yeah, New Day's walking out, still tag team champions.
It's tough for me because it's like, okay, how much longer can you keep the New Day Dudley thing going before it starts getting stale? And obviously, I think they want the tag team titles on the Dudleys eventually. You know what? I'm going to say New Day. I think they retain somehow, and then it sets up a stipulation match, like I said, because I thought that this match at Hell in a Cell was going to be a tables match. But it turns out it's just a regular tag match, so I think they do one more match, and it turns out to be a tables match. And that's when the Dudleys win. So I'm going to pick New Day on this one.
Definitely. Next matchup for the WWE US Open Challenge. Who is your prediction on answering the challenge? I have two, but I'm going to go with my first person who I think is going to be. First person I think is going to be Dean Ambrose. Second person, if not Dean Ambrose, Tyler fucking Breeze makes a debut at the Cell and takes the title.
I mean, there's always reports that, you know, Tyler Breeze could be the one that beats John Cena for the title, and they're going to fucking push this guy over the limit. Like, they want to selfie sticks and all this stuff. I mean, you do that. I feel like that's a lot of pressure on Breeze because you beat John Cena, you make him disappear for a few months, you're the U.S. champion, you're doing all this stuff, they're spending all this time with you, or spends all this time on
Why
you.
you say it's pressure on Breeze? What's the difference between Tyler Breeze and Kevin Owens?
No. It's because, you know, he has to. He can't be another Fandango. No, dude, that was good at one point, then it's done. Can they maintain him? Just, you know.
I'm just asking, what's the difference between him and Kevin Owens? What if Kevin Owens?
What about Kevin Owens?
What if Kevin Owens beat Cena? Everybody wanted Kevin Owens to beat him, so would Kevin Owens had pressure if he had beat him?
No, not really. But I'm just saying, they didn't spend all this events and time with Kevin Owens. They're doing this for Tyler Breeze. Like, we don't know if this rumor is true about him selling selfie sticks and all this shit. You know, we don't know that. And they're going to give him Summer Rae to fucking walk around. We really don't know if that's true or not. But, I mean, when I heard the rumor first that he's going to the main roster, I was actually a little concerned about him in some way. Because I don't know if he will achieve the same achievement he had in NXT on the main roster. I don't know if that will ever happen. But if they're going to be pushing this guy alone, I mean, you haven't beat Cena, and then if the match does not book Breeze properly right, I mean, it could be a total fail in a heartbeat. So I'm kind of hoping it's not Tyler Breeze is the mystery person. What I'm hoping, if this person beats John Cena for the title and make him disappear for a few weeks, I mean, the Staples will go nuts. But if Cesaro's that main person, that Staples will go crazy. I know he's already in the match, but you're going for Dean Ambrose to go for
Ambrose is in the match though. Yeah,
but yes, he is. Is he gonna wrestle the Wyatt still?
Nah.
Even though Randy Orton.
I don't think it's gonna happen no more.
I
don't think they'll have two pre-show matches.
I thought that match was still gonna go on, but
Randy Orton's hurt.
I know, I understand that, but I thought that he's gonna have to get a mystery opponent or something against the Wyatts.
You want to answer this one, Tom?
Definitely thinking Tyler Breeze is the big possibility.
No. I'm talking about.
Oh.
I don't know if you heard. Is Dean Ambrose still in action against the Wyatts? Like, what's going on here? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. Usually WWE will update something.
Because we know that Randy Orton is supposed to be hurt. So is he still going to go against the Wyatts? Is he going by himself?
Maybe they'll stick somebody else in there with him. I don't know who. I don't know. That one's, it's definitely a tough one because, like I said, you had, a pay-per-view match between Ambrose and Orton going against, Strowman and Luke Harper. And we didn't see Luke Harper tonight, so that takes him out. And it's like, it was Braun Strowman's first pay-per-view match, I believe, right?
I'm actually looking right now on the internet, and I don't see Dean Ambrose in the card no more.
You know what? I'm reading right now. Yeah, they did pull off the match, so maybe Dean Ambrose could be another possibility
to answer the John Cena challenge.
Who knows? Maybe one of the Wyatts answers the challenge. Maybe either Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, or Eric Rowan answers the challenge because they're not on the show anymore. One thing I'm thinking about, because Cena has to take time off, they're going to have to get him off TV. So you have.
Let me ask you another question, Tom. What's your thoughts also, because Oscar thinks a lot of pressure is going to be on Tyler Breeze if Breeze answers the challenge and wins the title. Do you think pressure will be on Breeze?
I think so. I think there's going to be. There's always pressure for anybody going on the main roster to deliver, but the thing is, a lot of it's not up to him. Like I said, they overproduce so many things that it's going to be on creative in how they book this guy. But one of the things I'm really thinking of is they have to take Cena off of TV for a while. So how do you do that? So John Cena puts out his open challenge, and now that Braun Strowman doesn't have a match, who could answer the challenge? Braun Strowman. He comes in there, has a match with Cena, and then destroys him, leaves him laying, wins the U.S. title. That way it gets Cena off of TV, and it keeps the Wyatt family momentum going as well, because now a title is on one of the members of the Wyatt family.
That's a possibility, too. Breeze is another one. I don't think no pressure will be on like you guys think will be. I think Breeze is going to go out there and just put on great matches like he's doing on NXT. Because if anything, pressure's been on him in NXT, too, to keep up with guys like Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, basically the main event guys.
I understand that. You understand that. I mean, NXT, it's good, but I mean, if you're going to take out John Cena, like if you're the one responsible taking out John Cena, I mean, it's kind of pressuring. Like, you got to do something. You got to do something right on this guy. I mean, something's got to go right. You know what I'm saying? He has to be one of the greatest U.S. champs ever or something to go up there to take off John Cena. But another guy who, I mean, everybody will flip out if this person comes out. I'm going to tell you this right now. He's going to be in the state of California during Hell in a Cell week when they come in town. But would it be nice if Finn Balor comes out and he beats John Cena for the U.S. title?
He's the NXT champ right now, so I don't see it happening.
I know. But I'm just saying, he's going to be in Sacramento the day before Hell in a Cell. So I'm just putting it out there.
Would be nice, but just like, I don't know, bro. That's like That would be cool.
Because if he hears music, everybody's gonna go crazy, and we're all gonna know he's gonna beat Cena because Cena's had to take time off. So they gotta do something though. But Tyler Breeze is not that guy. I mean, I like Tyler Breeze, but he's not that guy. He has to beat Cena. I'm sorry, he doesn't have that look for it. I'm sorry. I mean, Tom makes more sense. Braun Strowman, he does.
Well, we'll see what happens with this Sunday. Interesting. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks are wondering who's going to be. Could be Heath Slater, baby. Anyway.
Shit.
Let's go to the next match. Hell in a Cell match. Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. I got Bray Wyatt taking the L right here. As much as I want Bray Wyatt to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns here. This feud's going to end. I mean, they're both going to move on with other things. I mean, there's always this report rumors that Roman Reigns is going to be feuding with Seth Rollins next for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So I think that's part where they're going. I mean, there's all these rumors about Roman Reigns and links to WrestleMania, like he's going to become WWE Champion soon, and then he's going to be coming in WrestleMania as WWE Champion. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns, too. Which is really weird because, you know, you want, like I mentioned, you want to keep the momentum of the Wyatt family going. You want to keep them as a credible threat going because that's been one of the main problems with Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family ever since they first came into WWE is that any time it seems like they have any sort of momentum, Bray Wyatt loses. And he loses a match, and then he gains momentum, and something happens, and then he loses a match. And starts gaining momentum, and then he loses a match. So it's like, when is Bray Wyatt going to get, you know, wins under his belt? When is he going to be able to get victories? So I'm going to pick Roman Reigns because I think that's what's going to happen, but I don't like it. You know, like I said, you got to keep this going with the Wyatt family and Bray Wyatt. Like I said, you can't keep pushing this guy as the quote-unquote face of fear if he's not winning matches, if he's not, you know, attacking his opponents and beating his opponents. So, like I said, I'll go for Reigns, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against Roman Reigns. I don't want people to think that I'm, like, trying to shit on Roman Reigns. It's whoever.
I honestly think this is going to be a good match, to be honest with you. I really think it's going to be a good match.
It could be, I mentioned this before, is that now that
this might be one of Bray. I think this might be Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns' best match on the roster as singles wrestlers.
I don't know about that one.
As singles wrestlers?
You know, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan at the Rumble in 2014 was a really good match. That was probably good. That was probably Bray Wyatt's best match to date.
Well, Roman Reigns won't have one, really.
Yeah, that's the problem with him. Him against Lesnar, I guess you could say. You know, because for most of the match, it was the singles match, and he held his own. So that's probably his best match to date. But I mentioned this, I believe, last week, is that you're going to have two Hell in a Cell matches, and obviously one being Lesnar versus Taker being the main event. I think this is going to be a good match, but I feel like it's going to be restricted because of Lesnar and Taker being a Hell in a Cell main event. They're still going to have a good match, but they're not going to make it as violent. They're not going to make it seem, you know, they're not going to do a lot of spots with the cage as opposed to what they're going to do with Lesnar and Taker. So it's going to be a good match, but I feel like because of the main event, it's not going to be as good as I think it could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We never know. They might let us have fun and see a lot of spots. Who knows? Let's just pray as wrestling fans. Next match, Kane versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going with Seth Rollins, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, you don't. I think Kane's gonna come back as a full-time wrestler. The corporate Kane thing is dead, so that's the stipulation. If Seth Rollins, corporate King gets fired, so probably see in the ring full-time now, and that's where it's going. I mean, I know that's not everybody want to see, but that's where it's gonna go. And yeah, Seth Rollins still walking out WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
I don't know. Like, what the caller that called up? Who did that person pick? Because he mentioned something.
I think he said Kane, but he wanted. I think he said his head says Kane, but his heart says Seth Rollins.
Yeah, because he mentioned, like, everybody, because everyone's talking about Sheamus catching in and all that being a big possibility. I don't know, because it's either
Kane's definitely not
Rollins,
winning. I don't see Kane winning the fucking belt for what? That'd be retarded.
I don't know. I mean, WWE has done plenty of retarded things.
I don't think they'll do this. I don't think they're that retarded to put the belt on. I really don't think they're retarded to put the belt on Kane. They're not.
I think they're that retarded that they would do that. I would not. WWE, listen, over the years, WWE has done so much stupid shit in that company.
That was over the years. They haven't done it lately. Kane is 48 fucking years old, bro.
Well, then why is he in the main event to begin with?
Who knows? It's part of the storyline.
So
it's part of the storyline.
It's WWE's stupid booking. It's WWE's stupid fucking booking. Because they don't know how to book stars.
Does this remind me back in WrestleMania week or something like that? How WrestleMania, all these fans were like, "Oh, WrestleMania's gonna suck." Look what happened. It was a good show, and me and you, Skips, were witness a great WrestleMania show. So, and there's no way Kane's walking out championship. And for what? Like, why? What reason? And I bet you, even they had the idea that, okay, let's have Kane walk out. Kane probably was saying to himself, "Look, you know what? I probably won't. It won't make sense for me to walk out championship." So,
you know, he'll get heat like crazy. LA will boot a shit out of him.
LA will, true. LA will boot a shit out of Kane if he does walk out champion with the title, but
I don't even know why you're even stuck on this question, Tom. I mean, knowing you, why would you be stuck on this shit? Like, remember
WWE doesn't know how to book shit.
Last time we had this conversation, about the WWE title, you thought Roman Reigns was gonna win. What happened?
Yeah, the only reason that he didn't win was because of the backlash of fans, which they had to switch the year
Kane
before.
is not gonna win, bro. This shouldn't even be part of like you even getting worried about Kane winning.
All right, when he wins on Sunday, I'll pick Rollins, but when he wins on Sunday, you're gonna be the first person I'm gonna be calling and texting.
Hey, you can do that, and I'll be the first person to say, "I told you so," or "Stop worrying." I'll say something like that. Kane is definitely not gonna win. Stop it.
If Kane ends up winning, I mean, he is gonna lose the title, and Sheamus is gonna cash in. There's no way he's walking out saying with their WWE Championship. So that's like the only way I see Kane winning.
On Monday, Kane will not be coming down as champion. Sit in the corner, bro, if you think that's happening. I'm sorry. I don't,
because I think either way, Sheamus looks like he's cashing in. So I think come Monday, Sheamus is going to be champion. I can't believe I'm saying that. Oh, God.
That's another thing I don't want to see, but...
boy. Give Sheamus the title. Yay.
You know what? Everybody said this about Sheamus. They said Sheamus was going to cash in the SummerSlam. What happened? Didn't happen.
It's going to eventually happen.
We'll see.
So
Let's just watch.
Figure this is where happen at any time. It can happen at any time.
This is where we now sit back and watch and see what happens. Yeah, let's just sit back and watch, see what happens. Let's take a quick...
I don't know. I have a feeling that Survivor Series, the main event's going to be Sheamus versus, like, Roman Reigns or something. I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
We'll be right back at these matches after that.
Let's go to the main event.
After those comments, oh, Chef forgot one more match. Brock Lesnar versus the Undertaker. I got Taker losing.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar is walking out the victorious. I mean, it's kind of obvious that's going to happen because, I mean, okay, if Undertaker wins, what's next for Lesnar? I mean, what's he going to do when we bring back Lesnar? So if that's the case, like Brock Lesnar wins, I mean, there's all these rumors that he's going to wrestle Kurt Angle or he's going to get a W title shot at WrestleMania. I mean, it makes more sense if Lesnar wins and Taker loses and he comes back in Mania week. I mean, there's another rumor going around that they're going to be feuding with the Wyatt family again. I mean, not again, but he's going to feud with the Wyatt family during WrestleMania time. So Bray Wyatt could get in his head about that, losing to Lesnar. I mean, that was still another
Who knows?
storyline.
Bray Wyatt, who knows? The Wyatts might get involved in the main event and fuck it up for Taker. Who knows? Something's going to happen in that main event.
That could possibly happen as well.
And then we never see Taker for a while.
Yeah, that could be happening.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Brock. Obviously, I think you can't put over Taker on this one. Makes no sense. Have Brock get the big win, end the feud. Thank God this isn't happening at WrestleMania again. That would have been a WrestleMania match. But yeah, have Brock win. Whatever happens with Taker, obviously WrestleMania 32. That's still up in the air on who he's gonna face. At this point, I don't even think WWE knows who Undertaker's gonna face. I think they're just kind of winging it at the moment.
Yeah, just like Oscar just said, Braun Strowman is like one person that they're testing out at the house shows, and so that's why they had
that would be such a waste of a WrestleMania match from Undertaker. I mean, talk about a waste. I'd rather see Undertaker versus Bo fucking Dallas than Undertaker versus Braun Strowman.
It's all talks right now. Who knows?
It is all talk right now.
There's another talk. John Cena. John Cena's another one. There's a lot of names out there, so who knows?
Okay. If you're because they're trying to make WrestleMania 32 the biggest WrestleMania in history. If you do that, you have to put in big time matchups. What's the one big match we haven't seen? Taker and Cena. I mean, we've seen it before. We saw it back like in 2003 when Cena was a heel doing his basic thugonomics gimmick, but we really haven't seen it since then. That is a big time matchup. Taker versus Cena. Or even people are still throwing around Taker Sting. Probably not going to happen.
I don't think Sting is going to wrestle again. After watching his DVD, which I'll talk about in a minute, I'll explain why. Let's take a quick break, though, and we'll get back to some more wrestling news that has been leaked out. I even want to talk about Maria Kanellis a little bit. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, this is England's Zack Sabre Jr. And when I'm not drinking tea and hanging out with the Queen, I am always listening to Wrestling Heads Radio. Cheerio.
Hello friends, this is Matt Seidel. You are using your brain and listening to Wrestling Heads. Respect.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Wrestling Heads Radio. I got one thing to say. If you're listening to Wrestling Heads Radio Weekly, or anybody here on EPN,
all you have to do is believe.
Because we
the best in the world.
Yes, we are. And you know what? I know the Stone Cold podcast is still on, or is it probably done by now? But if anybody listens to us live, I gotta give you props for doing that. But even though I'm sure happy think everybody's listening to us, even though they probably listen to us on iTunes later on or on YouTube later on. But if you guys listen to us live, we appreciate that, and you can watch the Stone Cold interview with Brock Lesnar after this.
Definitely.
Yeah, but when I'm reading around on Twitter, there's nothing hypeable like how Austin mentioned, to McMahon about CM Punk, or how Austin mentioned Triple H about China. But when I'm reading, nothing happened. No WrestleMania tease between Steve Austin and Brock Lesnar, which I don't want to see, to be honest with you. But there's nothing teasable about it. So
you know what?
That's very much
Let's not talk about that podcast. No disrespect to Stone Cold.
Hey, he might stunner you.
About...
He might stunner you. You better shut up. He might stunner you.
Stone Cold is the homie, though. He is the homie. But I got some news. Maria Kanellis, she tweeted out on the 15th of October, 2 o'clock, at 2:27 p.m. Contract with Ring of Honor is running up in December. Maybe it's about that time. Does she return to the WWE?
There was talks a few years ago about that, and the Bellas kind of like, I gotta say, they made a roadblock to it. I don't know if there's still issues between the both. I mean, the Bellas are all loyal, they got management in their hands and all that, but...
Just go ahead and say it. They're fucking John Cena and Daniel Bryan.
I know that. I'm saying, they got management in their hands, so if she comes back, that'd be cool, I guess, but what kind of role she'll do if she comes back, like, what? And how old is she now, 30-something?
She's still hot.
I know she's still hot, but I mean, what is her role going to be when she comes back? Or will they put her in NXT?
I don't know. Obviously, I had my dad said Maria coming back just because of who's still in the WWE, the Bellas. That's one of the reasons Maria's not in the WWE currently is because of the Bellas, because there's so much drama between Maria and the Bella twins. So either they maybe buried the hatchet, or who knows if she does come back. I don't know. I feel like Maria's best stuff that she's ever done was in Ring of Honor. The best stuff that she's ever done was being part of the Kingdom. When she was when she was managing just Mike Bennett, it was good.
When is Mike Bennett's contract up? Because when she means it's about that time, it could mean her and Mike Bennett heading to the E or NXT.
Or it could be maybe she wants to get out of wrestling, and then Mike Bennett's going to keep going.
That's possible too. There's a lot of possibilities.
Because they are married, and obviously I think she would still support him, and Mike Bennett is still pretty young, so he's...
Speaking of Mike Bennett, cheap plug real quick. Wiki Wrestling Podcast, Matt Grant actually interviewed Mike Bennett at Smash Wrestling. Go check it out, people. Go on Weekly Wrestling Podcast's Twitter. Check out the interview.
Gotta throw out those cheap plugs, but that's not a cheap plug because that's a big-time interview with big-time Ring of Honor star. So, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely very weird. We'll see what happens. I think. I don't know. It's like, does Ring of Honor want to get rid of Mike Bennett? Are they really going to try and pursue keeping him there? There's a lot of questions up in the air that we don't have the answers to because, we're not close to Mike Bennett or Maria, or we're not in the Ring of Honor offices. So we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Got some more news I want to talk about. WWE NXT's Twitter. They tweeted on the 16th of October, will Evolve's wrestler Sauce Williams be their next WWE NXT breakout star? story, and there's a link or whatnot. Bull Dempsey replies, at Boogie Gabe, nah, and he basically puts different names like Gable, Billy Kay, Nia, Alexia Bliss, and he says those who are on the grind at the Performance Center are next. So Gabe responds later, much respect to those at the Performance Center. We will be watching what's next for you. Exciting times. Hashtag Bullfit. Bull Dempsey says, excited to see what's next for Evolve as well. That was my phone. My bad. Time for the industry to give Tony Nese a big old kiss for me. And I believe, like, later, Gabe was like, how was that match for you at NXT Brooklyn that basically didn't make, you know, the big show? They were just going at it. It was a little war between them. You guys' thoughts on Bull Dempsey basically putting over the NXT actual signed guys and not putting over the Evolve guys?
I said this in the show in the past. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is wrong. What's his problem is between WWE signing guys like Kevin Owens or big time indie names. He has a huge problem with that. Obviously.
Do you think it's really, though, Bull Dempsey's thoughts, or is he just working us because he knows it's Twitter and he can work the fan?
Well, you know, like I said, when he first debuted, it seems like they want to push this guy. Like he was this big badass baller. He go fuck anybody up, and he will destroy anything that will get in his way. I mean, it looked like they're really going to push this guy until they made him lose to jobbers like Angelo Dawkins at a house show. Because the reason why they made him lose to Angelo Dawkins at a house show because he posted that tweet about Kevin Owens and Finn Balor signing with the company. And then I believe that feels like they should be in the back of the line. They push him first. You know what I'm saying? So ever since then, he's been been buried in NXT. They're getting a dumb gimmick, like make him look foolish. So I don't see. I don't know. It's almost saying, you know, what could WWE do to punish this guy even more now for posting shit like that on Twitter? If he got him in trouble once, what's going to happen next time? Release? If they release him, fuck it. Who deserve it?
He probably is just opening his mouth because you see how they squashed it quick. Who knows? We'll have to see. Hopefully he just shuts his mouth and just let the WWE and WWE and Live, have their relationship.
Another thing, Skips, remember at WrestleMania week we saw him lose to Jason Jordan, which this is before. This is
where Jason Jordan was with Chad Gable. This is before they were a tag team. This when Jason Jordan. No, I'm over telling Tom. This is way before Chad Gable and him teaming up. This is when Jason Jordan was a pure jobber, and he lost.
And was this going on like right after the heels of his feud with Baron Corbin? Like this was happening like right after that. Yeah. And then
Jason Jordan beat Bull Dempsey.
And then I bet you everybody in that building, when this match was going on, everybody thought Bull Dempsey was going to win that match. Nope, Jason Jordan did it.
Yeah. Who knows? More news that has been posted on, different websites or whatnot. Shane McMahon DVD. Your thoughts, guys?
They better put some good matches he had. I mean, the one with Kurt Angle, which they botched the fucking thing, landed on his head a couple of times. I mean, that was a good match. They got to put that in there.
Shane's put some hella good matches.
Yeah, did he have? What was the one when he jumped on that thing? Was it against Steve Blackman, I believe?
It was against Steve Blackman.
Yeah. I mean, Shane did have good matches. He was one hell of a crazy dude. And being the son of Vince McMahon, I'm like, wow, he had some crazy moments. Yeah. But there's also reports he could be coming back in the WWE next year. It'd be nice to see Shane O'Mac back, see what he's been up to. What role would he be? Would he be part of the Authority? Would he be against the Authority? If he could come back with a storyline, who knows? But I know he's doing other projects of late. You know, it just seems like, well, when if you saw the Steve Austin's podcast and Network with Vince McMahon, it feels like Vince didn't want to talk about him. I'm not saying Vince has something against him or anything, but it just seems like, you know, it was uncomfortable talking about Shane McMahon. But yeah, if he comes back in 2016, that'd be cool. I mean, see what he's been up to. I mean, I'm not sure if I want him in the match. I don't know if he has any of that in him, but I just like to see what he will do in 2016. Like, it would be good to see him. You know, it's been a while, and it'd be great to see him.
I definitely would be interested to see a Shane McMahon DVD, you know, have him appear on Stone Cold's podcast. Obviously, you know, over the past, you know, like 6 years or so, he's been out of the WWE doing his own thing. I know he's over in China. He's been over in China doing some things and, you know, just getting outside the wrestling business, you know, just, you know, making his own money, putting his own stamp on things. So it'll be interesting to see if he does come back or if he doesn't. But, you know, I think a lot of wrestling fans do miss him because, you know, like we were talking about.
He was a fun guy.
Yeah, the guy was absolutely nuts. And you have to think about, you know, this is the boss's son. So all this stuff that he did was probably like, all right, I need to go out there and do crazy shit because I'm the boss's son. So I'm going to take chair shots and do crazy bumps and, you know, do elbow drops from the top rope through the announce table and do all these crazy things to prove that, you know, I belong here and I'm legitimate and, you know, if, you know, I'm not just the boss's son just sitting around here doing nothing. So, you know, always big props to Shane. Shane's always seemed like a cool guy. Like I said, wrestling fans, I see it all the time how many wrestling fans miss this guy and want him back in the WWE. So it's always open. But, you know, like I said, he's got other stuff on his plate. You know, he's got a family going on. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens if he does return. If he doesn't, who knows?
Definitely. Some more news I wanted to talk about. I know we didn't really get. I don't think we've talked about this, but Sin Cara, the original Sin Cara, actually got fired from AAA and recently just signed with CMLL.
We did talk about that. We did talk about that last week, and I don't know if he got fired, but I just think they just both separate ways. I mean, there was a lot of. I think me, Matt, and Tom talked about this last week.
He recently just signed with CMLL.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's the company that made him a star in Mexico. I mean, the whole AAA thing. I mean, there was a lot of reports, like different stories about it. Like the one I heard, the reason why he left because he did not want a job to Rey Mysterio because they had a match set between the two, and the loser take off their mask, which I don't know if AAA changed the finish or was going to change the finish, but they kind of told Mystices that, you know, we're going to have you lose your mask, and he didn't want to do that. And it doesn't make sense because everybody knows how Rey Mysterio looks underneath the mask. And then if you look at AAA's history, you have guys lose his mask like the Diablos, and they wear it back, and not a big deal. Look, there's some. Just to educate the fans who not know about Lucha Libre, but there's a lot of wrestlers in Mexico that, you know, will not like to give up their mask. Like it's part of their life. You know, it's part of their career. You lose your mask, your career could be fucked. I mean, it's not like how Rey Mysterio did. Like, he lost it in WCW, and it didn't hurt him. No, it didn't. So some people can get lucky, like Rey Mysterio or Psychosis, but, you know, I guess losing your mask in the States is not a big deal, but you lose it in Mexico, it could hurt you big time. So I guess that's what he's seeing, and I guess that he did not want to drop to Rey Mysterio, and he's like, fuck you, AAA, I'm done, and all this shit. So he decided to go back to CMLL, but he cannot use the Mr. C's name. But I think they just announced his new name will be Mystic 2.0, which I don't get because his original character in CMLL is played by another wrestler currently in CMLL. So I don't know what the heck is what's going on. I don't know what's this Mystic 2.0 thing going on, but who knows what's gonna go down. I mean, wish him luck being back at CMLL, and we'll see where we go forward. And we'll probably see him in New Japan.
That's such a terrible name. That's worse than Mystic is. Mystic 2.0. That is so. When I saw that they announced it, I saw it on Twitter from I think a Lucha blog. I was like, oh my god, that is terrible. That's like one of the worst names you can come up with. But
well, it's kind of fucked up because his original character was owned by CMLL, and he can't do anything about it. There's another wrestler playing that character, so what can he do? I mean, I explained the other side what Matt said that how he left AAA is because of Alberto Patron. They have some beef going on. They don't want to work together and all this stuff. I mean, this is going way back. And we saw what happened in WWE. He fucking kicked them for real. They really do have bad blood. So that's another reason why he's no longer in AAA. That's what on that side of it. But it's weird. But I don't know.
One thing I wanted to say before we move on. We know how CMLL they work with New Japan. Maybe possibly we'll see him in New Japan. Never know.
Yeah, what? He probably worked with them in the past when he was using the mystical character, but yeah, we might see him again in CMLL in the future, and especially when he does shows every February. I mean, we'll probably see him there.
Definitely. This yesterday actually, me and Oscar went to Stardom USA. Enjoyed the show. Had a good time. We got to see Wrestling Heads alumni Chris ROH code up there. It was pretty fun. Got to see some girls that I've never seen in action before. I had a good time.
There's a lot of girls we haven't seen the first time. This is the first time I've seen Mia Yim wrestled in person.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and there's some girls, like maybe a handful of names I can name right now. I've probably only seen, but the rest I didn't seen them. I have never seen them at all because the Stardom rosters is the first time I've seen them. So yeah, going against girls I've seen like a handful, like Nicole Savoy, Datura, Thunder Rosa, Cheerleader Melissa, and that's an envy.
And by the way, all those are former guests that he's naming too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
At least 5-6 girls that was on the show have been on WH. But your favorite match of the night?
I think the last one, the tag team match, those tag titles. I mean, yeah, that was the best match of the night. That's a good way to put that in the main event. And yeah, crazy shit going on. What's funny? They used me and Yim, and that's an envy. Like, those kind of people like security people, like watch out, move out of the way, or all that. They use them, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe Stardom always do that because it's like they're
New Japan does too. If you look, you'll see like some of the young boys at ringside or whatnot. They'll like be there. Like sometimes Captain New Japan will be at he'll be like just at ringside, just there. But yeah, I think that's something that they do. All I gotta say, Hojo, beast. She's a beast. Melina was looking pretty good in the ring. Melina was looking pretty good in the ring. And I don't know when last time she's wrestled, but if Melina plans on coming back in the ring, Lucha Underground, don't be surprised.
Yeah, you know what? It was said it was the first time since 2012, since she wrestled. But I always thought she was a little underrated because I feel like her wrestling improved when she separated from Eminem and she was doing it by herself. But it was WWE. They, how they work with the divas. They never gave them the time to shine that much, only because being there at all, they look sexy and do what you do. But I just feel like she never showed true ability in the ring because of all that. And I thought she improved when she broke up with Eminem and she was doing her own thing, and it was pretty cool. But then, unfortunately, they didn't make her show her ability to improve. Too bad there was no NXT back then, because I think she could have killed it like the girls today would be. But fortunately, it didn't happen. But she did look good at Stardom yesterday.
Definitely. Santana Garrett and Chris Wolf had a fun match. I actually like that match too. Chris Wolf.
Yeah, you know what? No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Chris Wolf. First time ever hearing about her, and I definitely had fun watching her do it.
Yeah, I've been knowing about her, but it sucked that everybody was pissed when Santana Garrett walked out victorious, because the era wanted Chris Wolf to walk out. But you gotta understand something. We just can't have every wrestler from Stardom win every match. Josie, yeah. You can't just say, they're all going to win every match, So you can't get everything what we want.
Plus, Santana, she's on her way to Stardom after, she's going to go to Japan. So you got to, push her a little bit.
You got to give hats off to the guys from EWF, like Jesse Hernandez, and all them to make this happen. You get the cheerleader Melissa. I mean, I heard both shows draw really well. Like it was a lot of people there yesterday.
From what I read, it was like 300 people there yesterday.
Yeah, and the first show they did on Friday, which sadly we weren't there. I heard it was packed. It was so packed, people were even standing up, like it was like a PWG show. So there was a lot of people there for the first show. But it looked.
We saw
like
your favorite wrestler, by the way, Tom. Joey Ryan was there.
Well, fortunately, Joey Ryan was there to do his show with Sean 2 Cents, so they have a show together now. I guess it could be a one-time thing, but yeah. If he was there, and Laura James, thank God she didn't.
It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last because Joey Ryan will be going to Japan with Candice LeRae. So
yeah. So it was a good show. I mean, if they come back next year, it'll be cool. I mean, it sucks though. I mean, I like to see it expand more in the United States, like take it to maybe New York or like Philadelphia or something. But it looks like Jesse Hernandez in EWF are almost like responsible to bring him in there. So it's the only way to bring Stardom talent will be in California only. So that sucks, but oh well. I mean,
your thoughts on Melissa and Shayna's match?
It was pretty good. I mean, Shayna did impress me. Like I not know if she was like when I found out she was having that match with Shayna Melissa and Coincidential. I did not know she had any wrestling experience, but this is barely her third match, and I want to say she's still green in the ring. I mean, but she's going the right way, I believe. So if she can have wrestling a full time thing, then she's going the right way, I believe. So I think she's needing more time in the ring and different opponents. I don't know if she ever wrestled anybody else. Well, you know what? I take that back. I think she did at the first Stardom show, but I know that she wrestled last night, and she wrestled before at Coincidential Pro. So, yeah, it was great.
Out of all the, go ahead, Tom. Tom, you saying something?
I think Tom's not there.
Tom's not fucking with us, huh?
Well, you're in the switchboard. You see his name on there?
Nah, he's there. Out of all the Josies, which one did you enjoy the most?
Chris Wolf. She's amazing. She's quick. She's hyper. I mean, she could just work with anybody. I mean, Ernest Integra had a right match, not bad, but it just sucks that she lost in her match. She was the only Josie that lost. So, yeah, all the girls did pretty good. I mean, you just can't say one girl, but hey, it was a good show. I mean, if you guys never seen a Stardom show in America, maybe
all I know is that
you guys check it out.
I know Chris sent me a couple of matches to check out. There's a couple girls that are on the show, especially the girls that are in the main event. I'm talking about all 4 girls in the main event. 3 of those girls, I would have to say, I like the most out of the show. And the girl who had the rum,
yeah,
I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah, her name is Ack. What are you talking about?
Ack, Yasuko. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like I like her. She was fun. And yeah, basically the rest of the folks are like Mia Yum, Hudson Envy. They're always fun to watch or whatnot. Brittany Wonder, Datura. Datura got her ass whooped a lot in that match, but
yeah, she did took a beating, but she can take it though. She's a tough girl, and she's gonna be getting some of that when she goes to Japan. I just feel like they just showed her this is what's gonna happen when you go to Japan, and she took it though. And look at her, and she gave me a hug last night. It's all good. But see my Mia Yim skits, your picture with her when you lift her up. I saw her retweeting it. I saw Eddie Kingston retweeting it. I seen Rebel favorite it. Give you props on that.
All I know is Mia Yum. She's definitely cool. Cool folks. I wish we had. Cool. I wish we had T-shirts for lady size. We definitely would have gave her one.
Yeah,
maybe next time
we'll get more shirts. We need to get more shirts because they're going crazy.
Maybe next time we'll rent it to her. Tom, are you there, bro? Tom,
yeah, I'm here now.
Tom now comes back when we're done. We're done talking.
I said Mr. Oscar back. I said my fucking mute button on my phone was like fucking up. Like I had it muted when you guys were talking about Stardom because I was watching fucking Sports Center while you guys were talking. It was on in the background. I didn't want the background noise then.
I'm going to be honest with everybody that's listening right now. I'm still learning girls' names. So, you got to forgive me.
Listen, it took me a while to fully get, like, the Joshi names and all the, like, people from New Japan and Dragon Gate. I don't even have all their names down, but it took years. Like I said, I've been watching New Japan for over 3 years now, and I'm still learning how to say some guy's name properly. So, you just got to keep...
Hojo is definitely one of my favorites for sure. And secondly, I would have to say, I don't know her name. I know her name starts with an I.
Okay, so someone took a picture with?
Yeah, her.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna read the name. I think I got it. You gotta read the name, though.
Those two would probably be my favorites that are on the show for sure. But Chris actually sent me some matches to check out, so I'm gonna, get more into Stardom, the product period. Try to watch them more often. So yeah.
I think your name is Aishiri, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely, yeah. I think you got it right. Cheerleader Melissa, I guess she ran into Alondra Blaze. That's on her picture on her Twitter. What if Alondra Blaze was at the show last night and we didn't even notice?
I don't think so, but yeah, I thought we would probably see her, but she wasn't there. But
yeah, I know
Stardom.
Alondra Blaze is getting involved with Stardom. Like, I think she got, like, I forget what type of position over in Stardom. I'm trying to remember the exact name. It was like commissioner or like something along those lines. So I know Alondra Blaze was working with Stardom. But who knows if she was there. She might have been. You might not have noticed.
Probably in the back.
Nah, she wasn't there.
Out.
No, I don't think so. I think she was in Australia the whole weekend.
Well,
let me ask you guys, because you guys, after the Stardom tour, and you guys have seen, women's shows from AWS and all like that. Do all women's shows interest you more now? Is like
I'm going to tell you right now, nothing against the American girls, but the Japanese girls are on a whole different level.
So, let me ask, would you like to see the Japanese girls back in?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I would love to, but it just seems like it's going to be tough to have them here often. It's like what Jeff Hernandez said, we'll try to do it again next year. So it's basically probably be like a 1-year thing. We'll see Stardom in the States. So if anybody from a different state that want to see Stardom or need to get to see a Stardom, the only way you got to probably see it in the United States is here in California. So you have to get your ass over here,
Yeah. And, I know some Japanese girls pop up in, like, a Shimmer and Shine once in a while. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always like when outside of North America talent comes in, whether it's, like, people from the UK, Japanese people, no matter who. I like whenever outside foreign talent comes in. It's always interesting to see.
There's a lot of matches this Thursday that I got some matches that we're pretty sure we'll talk about this Thursday. We'll talk. Which one of them is a big match, and I think I might just mention it right now. But I don't think we have time to talk about it. We'll probably talk about it more on Thursday. But Gus, the promoter of FCW, will be here on here Thursday. Be sure to listen to that, people. It's going to be cool. We'll be talking about the Halloween Super Show. So be sure you guys listening to that. I will not be on here. Oscar and Tom will hold it down. And one match that I'm pretty sure these guys will be talking about next year at Rev Pro, Zack Sabre Jr. versus AJ Styles. That's all to say. And I'm going to end the show off like that. And I'm pretty sure we'll talk more about it on Thursday. But you can find us on Twitter at Wrestling Heads. Also, be sure to follow Elite Podcast Net on Twitter. Also, youtube.com/Wrestling Heads. I'm WH Skits. You can follow us on Periscope at Wrestling Heads. What else do we have? Instagram Wrestling Heads. Follow us on all social media. So show your love and your support to us. I'm also on Periscope too, WH Skits, but that's all the plugs I think I have for today. Also, ProWrestlingTees.com/Wrestling Heads. We will have T-shirts. Hopefully, at the next PWG show, we'll have brand new T-shirts on us. Hopefully, we get some hoodies too, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're probably going to need them because weather's starting to cool down now. I mean, it rained earlier today, so, Now, I'm wearing a shirt. Usually I don't wear a shirt when I'm at home, but Yeah, it's starting to get cold up in here. But anyways, before I give out my plug, I just want to get out there. This is support our boy David. He's having a fundraiser this weekend at the Wrestling Guy store. I mean, he's doing a fundraiser because the store could be closing, and he's trying to prevent that from happening. So anybody from the LA area is listening, go down to the Wrestling Guy store and please attend this fundraiser. He's doing a 3-day fundraiser starting this Friday, which the ring announcer from Lucha Underground, Melissa Santos, will be there. She's going to be out there signing autographs and doing photo ops and all that. She will be there. Also, some people from the Santinos, like Los Luchas, Captain Comic-Con, Jazz, one half of the Study Buddies, and your boy Charmin Diageo will be there on Friday. I mean, all just to support the Wrestling Guy store, and hopefully they help it, stay as a store there. Also, Saturday, talent from the UEW talent will be there, so you can check it out. Like former WWE superstars, Sam Boney, who was once known as Kazarni, was in the WWE. He's going to be there. Also at 2 p.m., Melina will be there on Saturday. So you guys have to be there. So she will be there to support the Wrestling Guy store. So this will all just be a fundraiser. And also Sunday, nothing yet announced for Sunday, but actually the same day as Hell in a Cell. I know they're having a raffle drawing at 5 p.m. Which is probably the time where Hell in a Cell is going on. So I don't know if there's raffle drawing going. But yeah, just come down to the Wrestling Guy store. Support it. Hopefully, let's just hope it stays as a store there and doesn't disappear. I mean, I respect David. He's a cool ass dude. Even though his guests still are guests, but oh well. He is a cool ass dude, and let's just hope the Wrestling Guy store stays alive, after October 30th. So, yeah. So yeah, just come down this weekend in LA. Just come down with buy a fucking WWE t-shirt before they Hell in a Cell. Fuck it. Just do something to help it. Keep it around.
Definitely. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good cause. If you're in the SoCal area, go check that out. Help the people that are supporting the wrestlers. So help anybody. You can find me though on Twitter @2tweetme. My Periscope is the same exact thing. Follow me on both those things, and I'll be sure to follow you back. I know me and Matt Grant over at Weekly Wrestling Podcast, which you can find them on Twitter @WeeklyWPodcast. We're looking to get in some wrestle chats, get it back going again. Not sure about times or dates, but it should be starting up possibly this Friday, 11:30 Eastern. So if you're doing nothing on a Friday night, listen in, come talk some wrestling. So be sure to follow Weekly Wrestling Podcast and Elite Podcast Network on Twitter to keep up to date with that. If you are on the East Coast, if you're in the New York, Connecticut area around there, got to throw out the plug. I'll plug it probably up until next week. But Halloween night show that I'm going to, Interspecies Wrestling, Candy Apples and Razor Blades.
Are you going to Periscope?
Yeah, I'll be Periscoping it. It's going to be a crazy night. Also, it's going to be helping to benefit one of the owner's girlfriends. She had some expenses that she cannot take care of. Somebody passing away. So if you're in the area, come out, see some fun wrestling. Help support a good cause, and dress up. It's going to be Halloween. Not sure what I'm going to be dressing up as. I don't even know if I'm going to dress up, but we'll see. And also, I'm going to be plugging this. It's a few weeks away, but I'll throw it out now so people have it fresh in their minds. Beyond Wrestling is doing another Raw alternative stream. If you don't know,
I heard Progress is a part of this.
Yep. So this whole Raw alternative stream is going to be broadcasted live for free on Beyond Wrestling's YouTube page, and they've done all promotions from Canada and the United States, but this one is going to mainly focus on a lot of the European promotions. So far they have Progress Wrestling, they have WXW, which is over in Germany. They're going to have...
Is Rev Pro part of it?
Not yet. Beyond Wrestling is trying to get Rev Pro and ICW in there as well. I know they just updated tonight.
I got to put over Rev Pro, by the way. I'm actually on the show where Will Ospreay versus AJ versus one more person. I know I'm missing one more person. It's triple threat.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought it wasn't. No, it wasn't Marcus Scroll.
Yeah, it was Scroll.
Oh, what's Scroll? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully Rev Pro gets on that. Like I said, IPW, they're going to be on there.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to say one thing about Rev Pro. ACH just made his debut there too, folks. So he's doing big things too. I just talked to him the other day.
I think Trevor Lee is going over to England soon.
Yeah, and he's going to face Will Ospreay.
Yeah, so they're doing some big things. You know, they're bringing in big talents from all across the world. Like I said, Rev Pro brings in the New Japan talents. They're bringing in, of course, now big indie names in the United States.
Colorado Kushida just had a match over there.
Oh, yeah? I heard about that. So they're giving big chances, like I said, to guys like Trevor Lee and all that. So good on Rev Pro. But like I said, it's happening November 9th during Raw, completely free to watch on their YouTube page. It's going to be a bunch of UK promotions. If you've never seen them, I recommend you check this out because you're going to see so many great talent from different promotions. So like I said, I'll probably be plugging it as we get closer, but November 9th, people, right as soon as Raw starts, Raw Alternative. Be sure to tune in.
Also, folks, I need everybody to do me a quick favor. I know you're following us, but go ahead and follow Indie Power Ranking also. They are part of the Elite Podcast Network family. Make sure you follow them on Twitter. They rank the top independent wrestlers in the world. So be sure to follow them. Also follow Mike and Tom Show, the Uncle Mike and Tom Show. Be sure to follow them on Twitter. Of course, you know you got Tom Richards and Mike Hold It Down. I believe they just had Drew Goodlock not too long ago. They also have they basically cover independent wrestling. Period. They talk about everything. They talk about Shimmer, AAW. Just name them. Stardom. They cover professional wrestling. Also, be sure to follow Eyes in the Ring on Twitter, people. You know, you got the guys, True God, Immortal, Speed on the Beat, Nate over there holding it down. Be sure to follow them on Twitter. I think that's all I have. Be sure to listen on Thursday as Gus from FCW comes here on Wrestling Heads Radio as we talk about the Halloween Super Show. Until then, I'm Skits. That's Tom and Oscar, and this is Wrestling Heads Radio here on Elite Podcast Network. Have a good night.
Hold it.